Today, we're going to read a book called Hugly Goes to School by Ted Arnold. He is the author who wrote the story. Hugly is a monster, but not a bad one. He's cute. The story starts when Hugly and his friends were playing in their own little play area in Monsterland. It says, Hugly was about to climb up and play in the people's children's bedroom when Booter and Grubble found him. "Hi, Hugly," said Booter. "Come play hide and seek with us." "Okay," Hugly said. "Hey, Grubble, it's our turn to hide." "Yeah," said Grubble. "And guess what, Booter? You never win hide and seek." That wasn't very nice. Oh, I got to show you the pictures. All right. "Until now," said Booter, because he wants to really win. He said, "Really?" And she turned and covered her eyes because she was playing hide and seek, but she didn't think Booter was going to win. Some turned and covered her eyes, and 1, 2, 3, she counted on and on. Hugly and Grubble scrambled away, zigzagging through a maze of caverns. Suddenly, Hugly stopped at a dark hole. "This looks good. We can hide in here. This is big enough for me too," said Grubble. They climbed in and discovered a tunnel of dusty wooden steps. There was a hatch in the ceiling. They knew that all hatches opened up under people's beds. "Hey, let's take a look," said Hugly. They climbed up and peeked out from under the bed. "What kind of place is this?" Hugly asked. They saw strange furniture and several doors. "Maybe they have some slime pits here," said Grubble. "Want to explore?" "I do if you do," said Hugly. Hugly opened a big jar of puffy white balls. Grubble found a clanky contraption. That means like something they don't really know what it is, but it's kind of cool and it makes a lot of noise. They both found boxes with sticky things. See if you can figure out what this is. These are sticky things that when you get a boo-boo, you put over it to protect your skin. These are called cotton balls, and they can be used to clean things or to wipe a scrape before you put the Band-Aid. And this thing over here is what we use to weigh ourselves. It looks like a doctor's office scale, but that's a scale to weigh yourself. And it makes a lot of clanky noise when you step on it. And they were just kind of exploring, having fun. Monsters don't know a lot of people things, so they're having fun with all this stuff. Hugly opened up one of the doors and cautiously stepped out into a long, empty tunnel. What they call a tunnel is a real hallway in our homes. Suddenly, a bell rang overhead. Doors banged open somewhere, and they heard lots of people coming. "We set off an alarm. Let's go. We're going to get caught." So Hugly and Grubbly took off. "Let's get back under the bed," he cried. Just then, a big people person came through another door near the bed. "Oh no, we're going to get caught. We can't go anywhere," whispered Hugly. They hurried along the tunnel looking for a hiding place. At that moment, a huge crowd of people children came running up around the corner. Then they found a little area called Lost and Found, and you can see I'm going to show you where they hid. Hugly and Grubbly ducked into a dim opening in the side of the tunnel. "Whew, that was close," Grubble whispered. "Can you find them? They're hiding." You see the Lost and Found closet, right? And the monsters are hiding in there, and the kids don't see them. They just walk right by. "Hey, look at all this stuff," said Hugly. Hanging around them were things that people wear and children wear. We can disguise ourselves until we get back under that bed. Hugly and Grubble weren't sure how to wear everything, but they did their best. They look a little funny because they put on whatever they could to hide themselves so they don't get caught, because they're not people. Gradually, the big tunnel grew quiet as all the crowds of people, children, disappeared through different doorways. That means they went to their classrooms because they were in school, right? All clear, said Hugly. Let's go. They tiptoed back towards the room to go under the bed to get back to the hatch and go back to Monster World. But as they were walking down the tunnel, which is a hallway, but before they reached the door, a loud voice boomed from behind them. There you are! Hugly and Grubble froze in their tracks. Yikes! They thought. Hugly, oh my God, now we're caught for sure. I think it's the principal. What do you think? I'm Principal Parley. And a big person, people said, I was expecting 2 new students tomorrow, but here you are today. Was it your mother going to bring you? Hugly and Grubble were scared speechless. They didn't want to talk because they didn't want to get caught. So they kept their mouths shut. Oh, never mind, the principal said. Let's go meet your teacher. She thought they were students. They were monsters that came up from under the bed. And they were in the school with the children. Principal Parley led Hugly and Grubble to a noisy room. Have a nice day and do your best, she said, and left them with a teacher person named Miss Coburn. Look, boys and girls, said Miss Coburn, our 2 new students are here, just in time for math. Today, we'll practice counting to 10. Everyone counted their fingers, and they all counted to 10. But Hugly and Grubble never made it to 10. Can you tell me why? Look at their fingers on their hands. They have monster fingers and not people fingers, so they didn't have enough fingers to count to 10. So they got to 8, and then they couldn't count anymore because their fingers ran out. Okay, class, Miss Coburn announced. Gather around for story time. The story was exciting, but Hugly and Grubbly were the only ones who cheered when the cave monster flattened the village. Dun-dun. Next, it was time for art. Miss Coburn passed out paper and asked everyone to draw pictures of their mothers. What do you think their mothers look like? Let's look at all the moms starting over here. And then look at Grubbly and Hugly's moms' pictures. And they still didn't get caught yet because they were doing what they were supposed to do. And you know what? Not every student is a great artist. So even though that picture was of their mom, teacher really didn't notice. All day long, Hugly and Grubble had so much fun, they completely lost track of time. Look at all the things they did at school. They were playing in the playground, playing with toys, doing schoolwork and art and all kinds of cool stuff. They had such a great time at school, they completely forgot that they had to get back home. So they were just enjoying the day. But then they're thinking, maybe it's time we get back. Finally, on their way back from the library, Hugly said, school is great, but maybe we should think about getting back home now. Good idea, said Grubble. They slipped past the classroom door and hurried down the big tunnel, which is a hallway that you got in your classrooms right outside your door. Here's where they were going to leave, and over here is where they get slipped out into the hallway, which they call a tunnel, to get back under the bed so they can go back to Monsterland. Ah, there you are again. Oh my gosh, it's the principal again. It was Principal Parley, right behind them again. I was correct. Your mother was supposed to bring you. And finally, she's here. I brought her to see you in the classroom. Hugly and Grubble were too afraid to move. They didn't want to turn around. Principal had a mother with them, and they didn't know because they knew it wasn't their mother, so they stayed frightened, staring straight ahead and not turning around. A people mother would know what their own children look like. So, oh no, Hugly and Grubble didn't turn around. They said, now we're caught for sure. And you can see, you can't see the mom, but you see a little bit of the hair here. So the principal is with the mom behind Hugly and Grubble. And they don't want to turn around to show their face because they don't want to get caught. Then they had to. They slowly turned around to face her. Hello, children, Booter said in a high voice, kind of like this. Hello, children. The school day was nearly over. Why don't we just take you home now? Is what Booter said. Fine idea, said Principal Parley. She waved goodbye to Hugly and Grubble. See you tomorrow, bright and early. So even this disguise fooled the principal. And guess who that is? That's Booter, their friend who was playing hide and seek with them. He came to save them because he knew that they were trying to get back under the bed. Booter, Hugly, and Grubble hurried towards the room where the bed was, but Principal Parley's voice stopped them again. You must be confused, children. The school's front door is right down the hallway. My mistake, said Booter, mumbled, certainly, and she led Hugly and Grubble outside. Oh, should I show that picture? Hang on, let's go back. They stood on the steps of the school and looked around. How do we get home without a bed? Asked Grubble. I have no idea, said Booter. It'll take all of my brain power just to figure this out. And it took all my brain power to find you guys. Now we're here in real trouble. Suddenly a bell rang and the doors behind them burst open and hundreds of children poured out of the school, running out into the yard. I have an idea, said Hugly, pointing into the crowd. I recognize the people children there. I've played in his bedroom before. Just follow him home and we'll climb under his bed. And they did. They followed him home. Safely back in their own world again, Booter said, guess what? What? Grubble and Hugly asked. I won hide and seek. She announced that she ran down the tunnel laughing all the way because she finally won hide and seek. And she saved Hugly and Grubble from getting in trouble for going to school. The end. I hope you guys enjoyed that story by Ted Arnold. And read, because it's so much fun to find out all these cool things that people write about.